Hiya, so today we're making a tortoise cake for my son's 8th birthday. I forgot to show how I cut up the cake, but I made two cakes, one bigger than the other one. I cut the big one just in half, took sides and top off to make it neater, and then the smaller cake I cut into sections to make head, legs and tail using offcuts. So just a bit of buttercream on cake board to stick down first section of main cake for body. Press it down to make sure it's not going to fall off when cake's done. And then same again, put a bit of buttercream on and attach your head, legs, and like I said, for tail I just used offcuts that were left over from smaller cake after I'd cut shapes that I needed. And then we put a layer of buttercream on top and just smooth it out with my little smoothing tool here. And that's just for when you're cutting cake, so you've got a layer of buttercream in between both halves of cake. Then once that's all smoothed down as a nice even layer, we're going to get the top section of that cake. So remember, we cut it in half. This is the second half, just to build up the layer of cake into like a proper piece of cake, basically, to make it more 3D for your shape for your tortoise. So yeah, look, I'm sticking his head on, and then top sections of his legs. You can kind of see in a second how I've cut the shapes of the legs here. Look, so I put it next to him as a rectangle and then cut it at an angle so it looked like it was coming after his body. And then this is what it looks like. And then I'm putting another section on top, which I did pre-cut to be sort of domed at the top. You'll see in a sec, which is domed right at the top, look, to make that tortoise shape. And this is from the smaller cake that I made for Ed. I cut that bit off first and then just cut shapes that I needed from the rest of it. So this is slightly smaller than the cake underneath, as you can see. But that's good for your shaping of your tortoise, because obviously its shells go upwards, they're not perfectly flat. They are jaggedy sort of shapes. So this is what it's looking like, 3D, kind of see where it's going now. And then what we're going to do next is put a layer of buttercream over top for your crumb coat. So try and cover it as much as you can, just to seal in that cake. As you can see, it's not perfect, but that's fine. And then we're going to bob it into the fridge in a second. Oh, just eat a bit of cake, you know, make sure that them offcuts taste nice before you give it to kids. You don't want them to be upset. Oh, a bit of buttercream. Gotta be done, can't help it. And then here we are, going in the fridge to set for a bit. Now, while that's happening, we're just going to clear a side, spray it down. This is very satisfying. I don't really know why I filmed this bit, but this is what I did. I put it in the fridge, I wiped all my sides down, moved all these spare crumbs. I'd already eaten main crumbs that I'd got left, sections, extra leg bits that I'd got left. So we're just wiping down the side. It's very satisfying watching all these crumbs go though. So we're just going to get rid of that, and then in a sec, here we are, we've got the cake out at the fridge. This is what it's looking like. So when you touch it, it should now be half firm, so it don't come away in your fingers, but it does still move. And now all we're going to do is put another layer on top, which is going to be your actual layer before you put your fondant on. So this should be a nice thick, but not too thick, layer of buttercream. Obviously, the more you like it, more you can put on. I made quite a bit, so I'd got loads left over after this. So we're just going to put another layer of it top, like this. Smooth it out best you can. As you can see, that dome shape now is coming out in buttercream on top of him, as you can see, so it's going up and down, and shape is pretty much there. You want the shape to be as much like it should be as you can, because when you put fondant on, it will go to its shape. So put it back in the fridge to set a little bit while you make your fondant. Now you can buy colour you need, but I didn't have none, I just had white, but I'd already got some brown colour, food colouring in cupboard. So here I am trying to get it to come out, but there weren't that much left in it, so as you can see, it don't really come out, so I end up using a spoon to scoop it out in a sec. And I would say, if you are going to do it yourself with colour in it, use gloves, because yeah, that's colour in my hands, and they only got worse from there. And it is quite hard to get full colouring out, but never mind, needs must. So you just roll it together until you get colour that you want. Sorry, once again, I'm on my phone, so it's really hard to see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But I'll show you in a sec when it skips across to how it turned out once I squished it together properly. So there we are, that's colour of it. And as you can see from my thumb, my hands are absolutely drenched in dye. But never mind. So we've got as basic colour we want. It's not too light, not too dark, because I'm going to change colour of it to like make it look realistic further on. So we're just going to cover Ed feet and tails with that, nice and smooth. I use my smoother to smooth it out, use my fingers to get it right in them cracks. And then for this bit, I then went round with a tiny round fondant cutter that I'd got. You can use old as long as it's shape, to push it in. Here we are, to push it in to make them shapes, just for effect a tortoise skin. With him being a reptile, that's kind of like not scales but texture of him. And then for top, I just dyed another bit, but it was lighter, as you can see. I only put a bit of dye in this because I wanted it more cream. And then I made like a crust edge, as you can see, kind of like a pizza crust edge, so it looked like where his shell joins his body. And then I use a knife to draw on the pattern, and then a bigger round circle to imprint some circles randomly, just for a bit more texture. And then here it is. And I went round with a brush and the brown dye I'd got, and I just went round all the circles and all the lines I'd made to make him look a bit more realistic. And then I made two dark black eyes and stuck them on with a bit of water. And here he is. I think he looks quite good. And here he is afterwards with little 8 on. Thank you.